Welcome back to another edition of the B4evaKool podcast. I'm in an undisclosed location, like I'm in witness protection, but it's not that. The show must go on, and bikes need to get service. Racing is happening, so unfortunately, I'm in between locations, but we're going to make it happen. We got the Vroom Wednesday. We got the boys in the building. It's like an island vibe, ish. I mean, I know England is still an island, even though it's huge. But we're going to bring everybody in and see what's happening. So let's do the thing. Um, what's going on, Jordan? Man, how are things, man? Welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me first and foremost. And days are going pretty good. Racing's getting back into full swing. The
Uh huh.
uh the snow has finally decimated down here in Atlanta, so you can actually see some grass,
All
see some
right.
trees and stuff like that. So, dude, I'm ready. I'm vrooming.
All right. That's what's up, man. I'm going to be in Atlanta soon, so I'm looking forward to it. Actually, I'm more north than you are at the moment. So
You are real north.
I think I think so, and I'll be very north pretty soon by tomorrow. But a lot's happened. We had World Superbike over the weekend. We got MotoGP coming up this weekend,
Yep.
so we're gonna move real quick and get everybody in. Smitty from Smith Shot Racing, welcome
What's
to the
going
Vroom
on,
Vroom
everybody?
Wednesday. How are things, man? It's been a while.
Nah, things are great. Things are great, man. Race weekend for us started last week, but I did not race because I hate that track called Little Tally. Every time I go there, something bad happens. So I say, you know what? It's not for me at that track. When I crashed there like twice, I went there
Uh
twice.
huh.
So
Yeah.
0 for 2,
You,
man.
I went there last year for the first time, and it was the same thing. I mean, I have a lot of things going on, and I had to pick and choose which tracks to go to. I do like the track. For me, it's like a 10 to 12 hour drive, and so it's just kind of like there's a lot of other tracks that
Okay.
are coming up for me. So like you, I skip for different reasons. I've had good luck at the track, so I can't complain about that.
Okay.
But I hear you there. Planning and scheduling racing is not always easy, and after a while, especially I'm realizing down here, you have access to so more tracks, so you can be kind of picky and choosy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. We're way better, than London. So, yeah.
No doubt, no doubt. Speaking of London, we might as well go across the pond. Bobby Shakes, the one and only, man. I see you double dipping. This crew may not be as sexy as the last crew you were with, but we'll try our best. What's going on, Bobby Shakes?
Hold on a second here. Hold on a second here. There's a lot of shots fired, right? There's a lot of shots fired, right? I mean, people making fun of England, but I'm going to defend myself, and I'm gonna go down the line real quickly. The reason why he's in witness protection because he's a pretentious Ducati owner, and everybody's coming for Ducati, so he's hiding underneath his bed. Schmitty, the other gentleman, has a Honda hat on. The last time Honda was even relevant was Marquez. So we put that under. And Jordan, I still like you. Don't get on my bad side.
That's what's up. That's how we doing it tonight, huh, Shakes?
Shots are going off everywhere tonight, man. Left, right, over the pond, under the pond. I mean, everywhere. Holy cow.
Everywhere.
Well, I was just trying to say, we're not as sexy as the last people he was talking to, but I don't know. But I hear you. I feel you on the Ducati comments, man. The last week or so has been pretty brutal. I feel like going into witness protection program based on the comments that people make when you tell people you got a Ducati. So I guess I can't do that. I probably shouldn't do that anymore. But speaking of Ducati, they dominated over the weekend. Um, I BMW struggled. Let's start with you, Jordan. Man, did you catch all the races? And what are your thoughts?
I wasn't able to catch all the races. I had a whole bunch of personal stuff going on. That's besides the point. So what I did see was what Bobby was talking about before. It was a complete Ducati wipeout. Period. Even the bikes that was flying off of the course and had to get back on track. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I mean, Ducati was pretty much dominating everything that you could pretty much see. Australia is a great track. A lot of people like it. World Superbike and MotoGP alike. Even the club racers love that track. That's one of my would like to be that on our bucket list. If I can go down to Australia and be on that track just for 3 or 4 weeks, maybe not a day or two, maybe 4 weeks, because yeah, it's a lot to take in. But Ducati was wiping everybody clean. There was a 2 second gap at one point in time. It was just a complete smash. So hopefully everybody kind of licks their wounds, goes back to the data, and start fiddling with some stuff, and hopefully come back a little bit better than they were for Super Bowl, because that was, ooh Lord, hurt me.
Right. And Smitty, as you hear Jordan talks about the Ducati dominance, um, do you think it's because of the pit stops why, because you look at the first half of the race, some people took advantage of the pit stops and were able to gain position in the pit stop and finish better at the end of the race. Is it one of those? Is Phillip Island one of those races where it doesn't matter on the calendar? It's more for show and because of the pit stops, or is all the other manufacturers in trouble and it looked like it's going to be the Ducati Cup, like Top Rock has already come out and said to the media?
Look, it's too early to tell people in trouble or not. It's week one, man. Relax, slow down, guys. Slow down. It's one race. That's it. You guys damn crown Bulliger champion already, man. You got like 19 races left. Relax. But are they in trouble? No, nah. I'm not panicking. It's one race, man. Top Rack. He still got second place in race or what? One it was.
Yeah, race one.
Race one.
Yeah. So he still got pace. So I ain't worried about it, man. But he get the bike settled out. He'll be back. I ain't worried about it at all. So
Oh man, listen, I hear that, but he did smash his windshield in race
he
two.
was pissed. Yeah.
So that's
Little
kind
temperamental.
that's kind of going backwards. I know in the old school BMW cars, reverse used to be left up. So
Right.
he looks like race two is going backwards for him, where Ducati guys, especially like the satellite teams, they did better in the Super Bowl and in the second race. So I'll move on to Shakes though. Shakes, I mean, you saw the races. I know you sit here picking on Smitty's hat, and Smitty's hitting up talking about the UK and stuff like that. But what are your thoughts on the race overall? I mean, I know Ika Luciano is crashed out, I believe, in practice, so he didn't make the race. There's only one Honda factory and a couple of satellite guys, but for the most part, it was all Ducati for the weekend.
Let me put my glasses on because you can't punch a guy that wears glasses.
Yes, I can. Equal opportunist.
Listen. Like we said when we were talking about the testing, right? We talked about the track that's by the water, and it was a high wind that day. Wind was coming off the ocean. The track was a little bit slippery, which we talked about last week. Ducati had a 6-second lead.
Yeah.
If that track was dry, and had better conditions, it would have been a complete domination.
Okay. I mean, listen, I don't know if it's the track, but I've seen people post on social media that BMW lost concessions and they weren't able to run the same chassis that they ran last year, so that's why they're struggling. But Ducati won back-to-back the year before, so I assume they lost concessions as well, and they're still running their 2024 bike. Not necessarily based on concessions, just based on the fact that the new V4R isn't out yet. Is it engineering issues, guys? I'll start with you, Jordan. Is it engineering issues for BMW? Is it not enough bikes for BMW? We saw what the Bitmoto guys did. They finished in the top 10
Top 10.
overall.
Yeah.
But Yamaha. But those guys are like, it looked like they're overriding those bikes to even get in top 10.
I mean, we all know that say Ducati because we won't talk about Ducati. BMW has always had issues with their past three iterations. They had a lot of power from the first two S1000s. They couldn't get the power down smooth enough to carry through a lot of corners. It was just burning up tires. They couldn't get a mechanical grip. They tried electronic grip. That wasn't working. I mean, when that first bike came out, it was pushing well over 210 to the rear wheel. And that was a big leap for them motor wise, besides Ducati in
Right.
MotoGP. So if you try doing that to a street bike or a customer bike where you're putting that much power without proper development, then you're going to lose a lot of everything. You're going to lose a lot of mechanical grip, electronic grip, uh, chassis. They've thrown everything over the past couple of years, swing arm, lowering it, raising it, uh, changing the rake angle. I know they changed the rake angle twice. So they're throwing everything at it. So I mean, to have the one of the premier riders in the world, almost hands down, at least win a championship, and now trying to go back to back, listen to him. I think a lot of mechanics and a lot of engineers need to listen to him and get some good feedback so that they can understand. Okay, if that's not going the way we want it to, let's try something else or let's even go in a different direction. Who knows? I believe, well, Suzuki did that, but they went in a really, really wrong direction.
Right.
Kawasaki did the same thing. They tried competing and tried throwing the whole sink at their electronic package, and they went in the wrong direction. So I mean, if you listen to the rider, 9 times out of 10, they at least put you in the right direction, and hopefully they get in the right direction.
Okay. Well, we'll see if BMW listens. The only person that's been able to ride that BMW so far is Top Rock. Smitty, I know you mentioned previously that it's too soon to give the championship to Ducati because it's only one weekend. Is it too
Mhm.
soon for Top Rock to be saying this is a Ducati Cup and losing his cool?
Nah, because he lost his cool in one race. It's happened. It's normal. We lose. We get upset. We say things we don't always mean. That's okay. But I think the issue is lack
Smashing
of
the
bikes.
windshield though, smashing the windscreen, man.
Look, I've got mad and punched the wall before, so it happens. I'm just saying, man.
You're definitely an equal opportunist for sure.
Okay, okay. So hold on. Question: had he won, and in excitement, he punched the windscreen. So would it be an issue? No. So why is it an
Well,
issue because he lost?
I think did Jorge Martin when he smashed his windshield was he
Right.
happy? Um, um,
Yes.
I think it's more the comments than actually the windshield. But overall, we saw the frustration from him from the weekend. And is it he's been on the factory for the second year. I think they lost two guys, so testing is different. It's him and Vandermark for testing. So
Right.
really, he's doing a lot there. The two of them are doing twice the work they were doing last year.
So to me, but like that's the problem. Well, not problem, but the issue. It's only two bikes, and data on that level matters a lot because you learn from data, and the more data you have, the more you learn, and that'll be the handicap this year. Same as Honda, they have the HRC bikes, and then they have the green ones, the Patronus bikes. That's it. It's like
Yeah.
10 Ducatis out there, so
It's only eight.
that's
It's
why.
only eight. Only eight. Wait, let me get my fingers
All right,
right.
my
Okay,
bad. 8.
it's only eight. Bobby Shakes. It rhymes with eight. Um, should the league put in something to say, hey, no more than 6 bikes on the grid? But having 8 bikes on the grid, having more bikes on the grid is great for World Superbike. Is this like too many LeBron James on one team?
No, you can't say that because Top Rock, on the Super Bowl race, and let's say for instance, that was a regular race, he would have made some traction on that race. You know, he was moving, he crashed out, and he was inching, and he was passing. So I wouldn't think that Ducati has an overwhelming an overwhelming dominance in the sport right now. But with 8 bikes on the track and all of them are flying, it looks like you're racing against 20 to 30 bikes. So the question is, which I like to throw back to you, if this is even possible, is it time for the other manufacturers to step up?
Yes.
I completely agree. Yeah.
Ducati has been the wild bull for years. They finally figured it out how to tame the bull. And now we know they've always had the power. It's time. They've tamed the bull, and now they're winning races. It's not like this has been going on for centuries. This is just a little hiccup before, just a little hiccup.
Well, I was corrected that I think Ducati's won 13, 14 World Superbike titles, but not in MotoGP. MotoGP they only have 3.
Right.
So the World Superbike they've been killing it before Jonathan Rea had his run. So you're absolutely right as far as where Ducati is and what they're doing, and I don't know if the other manufacturers don't want to step up, because they got money. I mean, I can't speak for Kawasaki, but Yamaha, Honda got money. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where do they just don't want to spend the money? Do not think it's worth it? But when you look at you look at this weekend, even though Smitty is just one round, you look where Ducati, it's like what was the year the Patriots had 18-0? It just it could be ugly if that continues. Where you have at least 6 Ducati riders, because you got 2 that are rookies, so I won't throw those 2 into the mix.
Right.
But the other 6 guys, if these guys continue to get on the podium for the whole year, I'm excited as a Ducati owner. I mean, I might come out of hiding for sure. What are your thoughts, Jordan?
I'm up in the air. I'm really up in the air. I don't know which part you want me to expand on.
Whichever part you'd like.
I mean, first and foremost, the other manufacturers definitely need to step up. I mean, I remember when I'm going to show my age a little bit. Troy Corser, when he was battling against the brand new Ducatis that came out at the time, these 1199s, and they was like, oh, they're completely unbeatable. No one can match up to their speed, their power. They'd have little lacking in their corner speed, but other than that, I mean, they were like one of the most powerful bikes on the grid right about then. And he kind of not swept, but he won the championship considerably. So, I mean, if you have the right machine, the right rider, the right conditions, I think any given Sunday you can win at least a race. And I think Bulliger, he won really considerably. I don't want to leave out Redding Anoni, Locatelli. I mean, they was kind of battling out in their own little right, but there was a good fights over there. I mean, I can go a little bit deep into the grid because, like I said, I don't like always keeping my eye on who just wins the race. I like seeing who's battling for. Sometimes even that last podium spot can get kind of dicey, and it was with Locatelli. If I remember the last 2 laps, he was kind of like, "Nope, I'm not going to get away. I'm not going to lose this." And then ultimately, I think he just blew a turn, kind of just threw him out.
Well, I mean, listen, I agree with you about not talking about who's winning the race, and so far we haven't talked about Bulliger yet, so we're definitely not talking about who won the race for sure. So I mean, Smitty, what are your thoughts? You saw Bulliger and what he did since we haven't talked about who won the race.
Yeah, but you got
Are you surprised that the second-year guy is doing what he's doing? It is the first race of the weekend, and yes, Top Rock is struggling, so we don't know if it's him just really improving that much or just Top Rock struggling. So, he looks like he should be in MotoGP from this past weekend, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I think he improved that much in year two. But I mean, he got the triple crown for the weekend. He got pole, super pole, race one, Harris too.
Yep.
That's amazing. So we gotta give dude a lot of credit for that. So he improved. He made the steps to get better, and it shows. He put in the work. But it's gonna be a tough year for Top Rack. But it's not the end. Like I said, it's one race, and things happen. People crash, people slow down. Bikes don't work well on every track. So we got a long season ahead. So, but who I'm impressed with is Redding. I mean, dude took his own money, bought his own bike. I mean, and he's still running good right now. So Redding is my, like the guy that I'm really impressed by right now so far. So
I agree. I think Redden from where he was last year, because he was either crashing out or top 11, 10, somewhere
yeah,
around there on average. And to see him finish top 5, top 4 on a duck is amazing to see. I think the problem though with Redden is that you got Petrucci and you got Anoni, and them boys are hungry.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
So
they don't always fight clean. They don't always fight clean.
You see Anoni, he doesn't care. He does not. He does not. He feels like he's the best guy on the grid. He does not. I mean, I sure all the riders feel that way, but he walks around that way coming from MotoGP, and I think he probably feels like he has unfinished business in MotoGP. But his passes, he does not care, and I think the boy might know how to fight. What are your thoughts, Bobby Shakes, on that? I mean, is these satellite team riders, do they stand a chance in getting the title? I don't know, because if Bulu keeps riding the way he's riding, I think that'd be very hard. But the fact that they're finishing in the top 4, top 5, top 3 is huge for Ducati, but also for satellite riders.
Yeah, I think, and I think this is where the fear comes in when we talk about Ducati dominance. It's 5th and 6th guys like Redding, independent contractors, still able to get that machine running well.
Right.
And I think that's the problem. We're not talking about 1 and 2 when we talk about Batista. What was he? Started on grid 11 and went up 9 spots to P2. Like, let's not talk about him. But the independent riders, I feel, is a problem for the other manufacturers because they're just independent guys. And you saw them riding. You saw Redding riding. I mean, Smitty just said it. I don't have to say it again. You saw him riding. I think that's where the Ducati dominance is. It's not with the top 3 guys or the top 4 guys. It's the 5, 6, and 7 guys. You're like, wow, this machine is running. And I'm telling you, and I firmly believe it. If that track wasn't moist, it would have been a problem.
I mean, can't forget about Alex Lowe's either. Alex Lowe's did decent that weekend also. Alex Lowe's top 10, and then like I said, Redding,
Bassani,
Bassani, and Redding 5th and 4th. I mean, dude, like I said, that not to say the podium doesn't count, but those fights right off the podium, man, they're gonna get serious, and they have been serious so far.
I agree. Jonathan Ray's out. Ika Luka Ono's out. Is it? I feel bad for Ika Luka Ono because he seems to always hurt himself often when he crashes, and Ray, the foot injury and stuff like that on the bike. And we'll move into MotoGP because we know Jorge Martin is going to miss the first round. What is it for these guys? You know what I mean? Do they just is it just more about getting healthy and getting back out?
I think it's about staying healthy. I know a lot of guys personally, when they're not riding on the bike and doing testing or whatever they're doing on their normal team, is that I know a lot of guys, they'll do dirt bike riding, and not to say it's a bad skill to have, but I know a lot of guys get injured off of there. And
Mhm.
for me, you know, not to say that there is no equivalent, but to jump a bike 20, 30 feet up in the air and do all that motocross stuff, yeah, you're on the bike, but it's a different skill that you have to accompany with. Yeah, you're sliding the bike around. I get that. That helps a lot of wheelie control, push control, and a lot of grip control. Fighting the bike back onto its wheels. I get that. Been there, done that. Got t-shirt. But when you're jumping up in the air 30, 40 feet, breaking a leg, breaking a foot, breaking an ankle, breaking a wrist, breaking a
Collarbone. Yeah.
hand,
Oh yeah.
and it's just
There's
like
the crashing in the dirt is the worst because you don't
it's not.
slide.
It's not
Yeah.
just. It's not worth it to do all that fun stuff like
Well,
that. It's not worth it. You can do flat track. You can still do a lot of stuff that will translate onto the track, and I've seen plenty of people do that. Um, just plenty of people do that to where it translates directly onto flat track to road racing. But if you're
right.
doing, motocross and hill climbing and stuff like that, show me how that skill translates onto the track. And does the injury really deserve you not even a seat? Because now you're
Right.
just throwing your life away. You're throwing, injury into the mix when you don't have to, and it's not
Right.
worth it.
I would say it's hard to say because I think it's what's available to you. Also, it's what you have passion in. There's other things you have passion in. You're passionate about that you want to
Somebody grew
do,
up in it.
and so
Yeah.
forth. And also, you can hurt yourself just walking down the stairs. So you never really know.
All right,
Um,
Lawrence Fishburne.
I'm just saying, you just it's just it's one of those things
Burn
where
rubber,
because
not the soul.
I know Bezecki broke his collarbone last year, and he was at Rossi's the ranch, right?
Okay.
And that's a flat track,
Yeah.
right? So it's I don't want to knock the MX guys saying that it's just the jumps. Obviously, your feet leave the ground or your bike leave the ground, anything can happen. so I'll go that far. But I'll go to you, Smitty. If you're Honda, what's Honda thinking at this moment? You got one guy hurt. You bring in a replacement guy for him to ride the factory team. I think Xavi finished in the top 10, so he did, I would say, fairly well for Honda, considering
Yeah.
Honda, Yamaha, and Kawasaki are all around the same pace. Honda got to feel good, right?
Well, backtrack 1 minute. Dirt bikes. Been riding yesterday.
All right, that's what's up.
That's
Yeah. So I'm still sore
I
and
could break
banged up
out
from
mine
that.
too.
Huh?
I could break out my dirt bike helmet too.
Yeah. I ain't doing no jumps now though, man.
There you
I
go,
think
see?
I think he broke out the bike and the helmet, not just the helmet.
But yeah, but you said on Honda right now, how they feel. I mean, look, Honda got a top 10. Last year they were around the same place. So stagnant. That's how they feel.
Mm,
In one word, stagnation,
yeah.
And then also, like I said, they're one rider down, less data, so it's hard to improve that way. So for Honda, it's gonna be another, long year in WSB. So we'll see how it goes though. But I'm not getting my hopes up too high this year. But I'm hoping for at least one podium. So because it's a good bike. The 5 is a great bike. It wins,
Yeah.
in the BSB, it does well in Motor America. It won a
Yeah.
championship in Stock 1000. It's a pretty good, damn good bike. But on the world
Yeah.
stage, they just don't got the riders to compete. So.
Well, and they're also going against one of the best bikes in the world at the moment.
This
So
guy.
that makes it very hard. Just,
I know,
Bandwagon.
man.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's unfortunate. I mean, and I do believe Ducati get a lot more flack for them being number one than some of these other manufacturers. There's a lot of people that don't like Ducatis. I don't know why. And there's all they got they find reasons to not like the bike.
You want
But
to know
I
why?
think if you've ridden the bike, it's hard to find a reason not to love the bike. That's all I
You want
gotta
to know
say.
why?
Dry clutch. Ooh, did I
No,
say that?
here's why.
My bad.
I love the dry clutch, so
Ducati
That is a pain.
riders, you guys are all like cowboy fans. That's why, man. No one likes y'all, man.
no, come on, no.
They're like cowboy fans, man. That's
Why
why.
though? Why? I mean, I mean, when you say cowboy fans, I don't know why people don't like the Cowboys. But
Because their fans are annoying. That's why.
come on, no. I don't know about that. I don't know how many Ducati riders are out there sitting on their soapbox and complaining. It seems to be people who you know, it's a lot of negative press for Ducati, and it's something I'm not used to, in all honesty. But I haven't walked around saying I have a Ducati, but now with everything, it's just kind of like there's a lot of negativity around the Ducatis, and there's also a lot of ignorance to the people that are spewing the negativity, because it's almost kind of like like the two old guys in the Muppets. They just find any reason to complain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In the balcony. You know what I'm saying? And it don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? And that. But I like. I'm a fan of all bikes. I don't care what the brand is. I've owned a lot of brands already. I still own multiple brands, so I'm not like I'm not on this person. I'm not Jerry Seinfeld that only has Porsches. Although I'm a Porsche guy. I would have other I have other bikes. So I'm a fan of motorcycles, but it seems like there's a good amount of people that I don't know if they've ridden the bike, because if you've ridden the bike, like I don't know why you wouldn't like it, other than maybe the cost.
I know for me personally, when I had two Ducatis, I had one for the track, one for the street, and one was a dry clutch, one was a wet clutch. I'm not gonna show how old it was, but it was a 996, so I'll let you look that up. And just working on the valves all the time is a pain. Literally every couple of 1,000 miles I had to ride it. You had to maintenance something. You had to crack something open. You had to do this. The bike was, not saying it was more down than it was up, but every couple 1,000 miles, I had to do something to it to make sure it was at its top peak level to enjoy what you're talking about, that riding experience.
Dude,
For
I
me,
have
it's,
two. Sorry to cut you off, but I have two
yeah,
KTM RC390 single cylinders. I crack the motors in those often.
I'm riding like a Ducati.
So I mean,
And
I get what
riding
you're
like
saying.
that.
I get what you're saying. The older Ducatis needed, based on the valves, the type of valves, need more service than
Yeah.
other valves. I get that part of it.
But now they're like I said, I've ridden them, but I haven't owned any of the newer ones. So I could definitely say the riding experience has definitely changed a little bit. I still think is way too much computerized. Even with the BMW, I mean, when you got heated freaking uh
Everything.
heated butt rest, heated grips, heated. I mean, everything is just so automated on that thing. It's just like you're not even riding, like the bike is controlling you. Cruise control, lane assist. I mean, list goes on and on to where, yeah,
Yeah,
you're not
I
worried
was
about it.
gonna say, I think that, and I was thinking about this maybe the last couple of weeks, I agree with you about the tech, because I'm thinking about naming my Ducati 14P, because I got 5 computers on it. Right? It's really I'm going waiting for it to start talking to me. You're like Knight Rider. You know what I'm saying? Because I get that, but like, you look at cars, you look at bikes, and maybe a lot of other things. All they can do is give you new tech. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, like, that's all it is just new tech we're getting. You look at washing machines, everything. So I hear you with the tech side of things. And it's nice to have a bike that doesn't have tech, to see what that's like, and a bike that does. But is everyone going to really go out and learn how to ride a 200 plus horsepower bike with no tech on it? I'll go with Smitty. Go ahead, Jordan.
I mean, I would. I would. I mean, maybe because it's the old school in me. I don't know, but I would. Give me 200 horsepower to get rid of all that stuff. Let me feel the bike. Let me understand the rhythm of it, the friction of it, the friction point, pushing point. I'm talking stuff that racers know about. I want to be able to feel everything instead of, hitting the throttle and then letting the bike do this, that's it. Well, and there's no
Yeah.
fun. There's no enjoyment out of that. There's no enjoyment out of, oh, I went too far. You get no real actual feedback. You just hitting the throttle.
Right.
Oh, I went too far, but I got traction control, so I'll just keep on the throttle. No.
I'm laughing because I believe most of the bikes today have an off button. I don't know how many people are setting it to off, but it does have
They
an
don't,
off
yeah.
protect.
I know one. I'm not gonna mention his name. I know one guy who was going through the whole big stupid menu, and he's like, I don't know where you can turn it off. And I believe and there was a BMW. Even in the instructions, it was just kind of like letting you know that if you turn it off, once you get past a certain like RPM or mileage, like speed wise, it comes back on again
Oh,
automatically.
no kidding. Okay. Wow.
Really?
Go ahead, Smitty.
So
Is it too much tech today?
There is, but I have this theory, and no one agrees with me. Nowadays, you can buy like a leader bike as your first bike because of the the rider aids, wheelie controls, traction controls. But 20 years ago, you couldn't.
Right. I will agree. I don't advise it, but I agree with you. If you put your
Right.
bike, if
Like,
you use all the rider aids,
yeah, like for example,
you can get around.
like that 03 like Gixxer 1000. That is not somebody's first bike.
Right. But
The Silver
would only
Beast.
say
I know what you're talking about.
Right.
I would say it's a
Yeah.
false sense of security, though, in that if you were to do that, because if you jump on the bike, even if somebody had a leader bike with all the tech on it, and they jump on a 750 or 848 with no tech, and that's a recipe for disaster. And
I'll
that's
tell
not
you
even
what.
them jumping on another leader bike.
Leader bikes nowadays, they all have what's called rain mode. That's basically
Right,
the
yeah,
lowest
yeah.
power setting, and all things turned up. When your bike is in rain mode, it behaves like a 600.
Yeah, fair
So
enough.
yes,
Yep. Yeah. No, I agree. But what I'm saying to you is, if you were to borrow my 1198 after riding that bike with no tech, your throttle response and your false sense of security could
true.
send you to the moon.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Bobby Shakes, I know your bikes don't have tech. I mean, what are your thoughts? I know you're old school. You're still using 8mm film and stuff like that, man.
Here's the thing, and I just want to go back to the complaining of Ducati owners.
All right.
It's a $25,000 bike, and most people who ride just think that that's cheating, right? You don't have the skill set. You don't have the skill sets. You just went out and bought the most expensive bike you can buy and then took it to the track.
Bobby, I got to cut you off right there. That's an assumption to make, that because somebody buys a $25,000 bike, they don't have the skill set. At least ask them.
I know, but this is some of the hate. I'm just giving you why there's the hate for the machine, right?
I'm hearing the hate.
It's a pretentious. A certain type of person buys a Ducati. A certain type of person buys a Volkswagen, and it's funny. You've owned both of them.
I got the Volkswagen.
Put that bus in reverse and run over him again.
Now, before I go to your tech question, I had a VW Bug and it got hit. And my dad did the work at Groving, and they do great body work. When the car came to the house, I did not look at the side that was hit. I looked at the side that wasn't hit. My dad goes, "Why are you looking at the other side?" I go, "Because I just want to make sure that y'all didn't scratch up my car." So we're very pretentious people who buy VW and Ducati.
All right. I see you're lumping yourself in there, sort of.
Yeah, I'm lumping myself in. Now, when it comes to tech, I got a V twin. There's absolutely no tech at all. If you don't point that bike straight, it's gonna come from underneath you. So I've never ridden a bike with. Well, I'm lying, because I've ridden the Street Fighter had tech, right?
Yeah.
Had tech.
Yeah.
And when I worked at the motorcycle shop, I've ridden every single bike ever made besides the MV Agusta. I've ridden every bike. So I have ridden tech, but in the shop wise, but on the street, V twin guys, there's no technology. You just make sure that you point it straight, right?
Well, they have technology. It's called speakers.
Oh yeah, I don't even have speakers on mine.
He just has a cigar holder.
Heated grips.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heated grips. I've heated grips.
No, he doesn't wear gloves. Stop it. He doesn't wear
Yeah,
gloves.
I don't wear gloves.
That's why
I
he
don't
had
wear.
heated grips.
Actually, I don't have heated grips on my
No,
Vic.
he doesn't. He think he was riding in the 60s and 70s.
But
Get back with Jane Fonda.
Yeah, I think the tech thing. I think the tech thing is where we go with where motorcycle racing meets consumerism and capitalism. How can we sell this 1,000cc bike to everybody? Like Smitty said, when you go to the dealership, because I used to work at one, guys come in, they don't know how to ride, and the first thing they want is 1,000 because everybody's got 1,000. And as I shouldn't say this publicly, but I will, and it's being done in every dealership, we would recommend rain mode for somebody on 1,000.
Yeah.
We gotta sell bikes. We gotta keep the lights on. What do you want us to do? Because sometimes all the 600s are sold and the thousands are always left over. And for manufacturers, if we don't sell enough 1,000s, enough R1s,
you're not getting them in.
We're not getting them in. So we got to show that we're moving them. So we need the tech to sell the bike. And it's unfortunate that a lot of experienced riders like yourselves here, you don't like the tech, but
right. And it's not just us. Let's go into MotoGP, as MotoGP is going to be cutting back on tech for 2027, cutting back on CCs for 2027, and giving more control to the riders. So, I mean, we're already seeing that reverse or shift in the self sense, because we've also seen the shift before, because it's not the first time that they dropped CCs and they went back up. What are your thoughts about Jorge Martin, talking about practice? And I think that's what you were alluding to, Jordan. He hurt himself in practice again, so he's going to miss the Thailand round now. Is it a foregone conclusion that it's going to be, it's Dainese out here, but it's still red, so it's going to be Ducati this weekend coming up?
Dainese, Ducati, I mean, not say they go hand in hand, but they have gone hand in hand before plenty of times. So I'm not sure. I think it's pretty much going to be, there he goes again with that red. I think it's really going to be a Ducati dominance once again. But one thing I'm not really looking forward to again is for them to try to make the EPA happy by belittling and watering down the greatest things that we could actually have in motorsports is GP bikes.
Right.
They are made to be the most ferocious, crazy, almost abnormal things in the gosh darn world. That's how that technology has got down to us mere mortals that can actually ride these thousands and 600 bikes to our limit. Never it's going to be to their limit, but at least to our limit. But now you're going to water it down to 800 cc's and 27. It's just like, we did that already. And what did we learn from it? Nothing. We came in with 800cc bikes, and then we had to bring in other people to battle with them on, what do they call it, contingency bikes or whatever the heck it was, just to make it competitive. What are you doing? Get more people into it. Try to get Suzuki back into it. Try to get Bimoto. I mean, you've got a plethora of other people, of other companies that can come and fill in the spots, give them at least some type of incentive, some type of, I guess you say, carrot to dangle, and be like, hey, if you win, I know in the championship battle with manufacturers, they get points for first as well as last. So I mean, it's that gives them incentive. Hey, okay, if we don't win the championship of racers, we can at least compete in the championship with manufacturers and start getting some development going. I mean, just bringing it down to EPA standards and dropping the liters and doing that stuff. We're literally just going back to the same old BS, and I'm not looking forward to it. But you know, I'm still going to support him.
You're still gonna watch. You're still gonna watch.
I'm still going to watch.
Smitty, too much is Jorge Martin doing too much? Just doing too much.
How so he got hurt? I mean, you can't fault him for that. It happens. He just trying to get. Look, you know, the final test. You got to prove what the bike is doing. You're trying to put in your good lap time, and it happens. You know, so he ain't doing too much right now, man.
Well, I don't know if you heard. He just hurt himself, I believe, over the weekend again. Not when he crashed. Not when he broke himself up.
Yeah. Okay.
For the test. He also in practice in training hurt himself. Hurt his other hand.
For dirt bikes or training?
I don't know. He didn't call me this time and tell me. So
They're just saying it's training. They're not saying what it was. They're saying it's training.
Got
it. Is it a kind of thing that, you know, sometimes you have to look at the bigger picture? You know what I mean? I know he's on a new brand, new manufacturer, and he got the #1 plate. You know, you want to make a statement, but is there something that just say, hey, let me look? Because, you know, for me, I feel like it. Not I feel. I know it takes me a little while to get comfortable with a machine, with a car or a bike. I can't sit here. I mean, I can fairly do well, never jumping in a car before or a bike and do fairly well. But for me to really truly understand and can predict kind of what's going to happen with the machine, that takes me a little bit of time. I mean, I know these guys, you know, they're 100 times better than I am. So maybe, you know, it takes me 6 months. It might take them 2 weeks or a week. Is there something mentally he needs to and we've talked about this last year in the championship and the decisions he makes and stuff like that, where he just kind of might not necessarily make the best decisions all the time.
Okay, but the question is, Tim, your question, you went on this long rant without a question.
Well, my question is he doing too much? I think it was at the beginning. I said, is he doing too much?
Okay, because I mean, you got to train, right? You can't just go through the whole season and not train. It's part of being the best at your craft. And that's any sport. Basketball players go to practice every week. Football, baseball, you got to go to the gym, you cycle, whatever. You have to. And you could get hurt doing it. It happens.
It does, but you know, like basketball players say the season doesn't start until halfway. Yeah, but basketball players, like the season doesn't start until after the All-Star break. Maybe baseball players, football players, you know what I'm saying? They take time they're not going 100 in week 1.
Shit, yes, they are, man. Every game counts in football, man.
No, I hear you, but they recognize that it takes chemistry and everything to build up, right? You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like you're on a new team for the first year, you know, and you need to learn, right? And even, you know, coaches, if you look at sport, basketball or football, coaches will kind of give you plays to make you successful instead of messing up.
I mean, fair point, but there's no time because, like I said, each race or each game counts, and you can't say, well, it's a new bike, new team, you know, race 1, I'll take it easy. No, because now you're behind on points, and sometimes you're gonna lose the championship by what 1 to 9 points, like last year.
Yeah, but Aprilia might not win next year, but maybe this year. But you look at from an out. You look at the rookies, right?
You don't think so?
But the rookies, they're not expecting the rookies to win, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like
rookies,
you think Aprilia sitting here saying we need you to be the best on day 1, or you think Aprilia saying, yo, learn the bike, come in, figure it out, because we'd love you to win a championship this year. But how outside of Rossi? How many other people come in the first year and won a championship on a new bike?
I mean, okay, right. But what they want him, you know, like to accomplish and what he wants is 2 different things. In his mind, look, I'm the champion. I'm going back out there to defend my crown. There's no taking shit easy because he has a bullseye on his back. So he can't take it easy.
Yeah, okay. I hear that.
Yeah, I have to agree with him. I mean, I wouldn't do it either. I mean, most of you coming from, like I said, doing a Rossi, coming from one completely manufacturer to another one, and then having the #1 plate on your bike is kind of like, yeah, you're gonna have people gunning for you. So yeah, you're gonna train a little bit harder than you did maybe last year, just to make sure you have that competitive edge that you may not have had. Or definitely, like you said, like you said, Rex, like definitely learning the bike at the same time, but it said you got to push the limit a little bit. But like I said, if the training was actually just training, I mean, you just got to balance everything out. Like we talked about a couple of weeks ago. It's just like, okay, I got to keep my level head and understand that, yeah, I'm going to train as hard as I can, but I'm not going to overdo it because I got a season ahead of me that, I'm being paid $1 million with minimum $1 million to perform. And if I
Right.
don't perform, then, other consequences can come to me later on. We won't go there with other riders who did the same thing.
Right.
Bobby Shakes, what are your thoughts, man? Aprilia, Jorge Martin, too much, not enough, just dumb luck.
I just want to go back just a little bit when we talk about the EPA, right? If which is they're making all these little rules, right? And we want this and that. They're not walking the bikes to the track, so you're putting the bikes on a plane, which is causing environmental stuff. Two, when you switch teams, like Smitty said, other sports have like a preseason. If we want to ensure rider safety and we want people to get familiar with the bike to make the racing better, because if he's out, the racing is bad. Why don't they pick a couple of tracks and then do some preseason on the tracks?
Oh, that's what he did first and broke himself up there. And then
Right, but they should visit. They should just be you do your testing, then there should be a preseason segment where just preseason, like football is preseason. You got to understand, like Smitty said, if you're a rookie, you're going out cracking heads in preseason because you want to make the team, right? And by week 4, by 3 or 4, you, as a vet, you're going hard. You're going hard in practice. You have to go hard in practice. You can't not chill. And what makes the sport so dangerous is because each bike is tuned differently. This bike kicks in at this RPM. This bike doesn't kick in. This bike, you hit the throttle, nothing happens. And then when you get over 5,000, it's like a rocket ship, like all the weight different, foot position, tank size. There's a whole bunch of things that goes into these bikes, and everybody's different. There needs to be, I think they're full of shit. They're full of shit. If we really want rider safety and we really want better racing, we need to implement some sort of preseason like other sports have. You do your testing, and then you travel, and then you make more money that way. Because I can't afford to probably go to a MotoGP event. I don't have the money for that. But if you're doing like a preseason run at certain tracks around, and you have a lower cost, it's safer for the riders. I mean, you throw a guy out on Aprilia, he's got a balloon on his back. What is he not going to go balls to the wall? Of course he is. Why wouldn't he? He's the champion.
Right. Okay, I like what you're saying.
I remember some. Sorry, Rex. I remember something. I think about 2 years ago when they started expanding the championship lineup, because I think it was like, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was like 12 or 15 tracks a couple years ago. Then it went to 19 tracks. Then they're like, okay, that's enough. We're doing too much. We've got this race going on. We've got 3 races going on. Now we're going to different tracks. We're doing too much. And I'm not going to say we're not getting paid enough, but they were just saying we're doing too much and we're going to back off. So I don't know if that's a balance. Jump in if you want to. But yeah, they was complaining about going too long in the season for, if you want to think about a preseason, then actually going from preseason to the actual season. I don't know if you're going to get a lot of flack from the racers.
Right. Yeah, I would say it was some riders that were complaining. Some riders didn't care. Quartararo was one of the riders that just said he'd race every weekend if he could. So I think it depends on the person and the rider. Not everyone was on board with that, but it's a good segue into my last question for all you guys, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Should MotoGP or World Superbike have a senior league?
No.
Nah. This ain't
No.
Vera, no senior league.
No.
Man.
No.
The thing.
What What does the
So
senior league mean? What does that mean? That we're
Well, I
gonna
mean,
bring back the
you look at the Isle of Man TT. They have the senior trophy, right? So you got riders that are. You look at Dovizioso. You look at Pedroza. You look at Crutchlow. You look at some of these. I'm not sitting here saying you have 80-year-olds, but guys who have left MotoGP. You look at like what Ice Cube is doing for the big three.
scene with crushes.
I'm just saying, you wouldn't think people come out and see their heroes.
Person like me, yes,
They
I would see
would,
him because
yes.
I would love to see him go back to their, not to say their heyday, but I would love to see Cal Crutchlow and the rest of those guys come out and I'm looking at his Australian Superbike champion. I can't remember his name right now.
Bayless or
Troy Bayless, and I would love to see them come back and try to compete against them, whether it be on a new machine or even their older machine. I mean, like I said, I'm throwing hay bales
right,
now,
yeah, because yeah.
but yeah, I would love to see that. Would it help? I'm not too sure because the newer generation, the younger generation, or even the current generation right now, really doesn't have any idea who those people are. If they do research them, they'd be like, oh, there has-beens. Why do I want to see them when I've got Quattuaro, Basecki, Mir, Bagnaia? I have all these new guys or current racers, going balls to the wall with these other guys, I don't know. That would be a hard selling point for me, but I would like to see it.
it would
I
be.
mean, yeah. Go ahead, Smitty.
Yeah,
Shake.
I mean, what would you do? Like one lap, 2 laps, 3
8
laps?
laps, 10 laps, 10 laps. It doesn't
No,
have to be
because the race
So
is just going to be. It's just going to be slower. It's going to be a slower race.
I mean,
It would be a slower race than the young guys.
if watching MotoGP, you hear some of these guys go out on like the BMW and like to test the bikes and stuff like that. Like these guys are still pretty quick. I mean, you look at Wera in the U.S. You look at some of these clubs that have retired riders, and these guys are still pretty quick, and women. So it's not.
Yeah, they're quick, but if they were still quick, they'll still be MotoGP.
Correct.
Well,
Like
I think
Rossi.
it's just the age. I think it's just an age out thing, maybe a cost thing. Because I mean, like Casey Stoner. I mean, imagine being able to see Casey. I mean, it doesn't have to be the same amount of rounds. Or I'm not sitting here describing what it should be. I'm just saying, like, we look at music. You see people who have recorded music 20 years ago now are doing tour and is being successful. You see that with actors who were big stars back in the day. Now they come back and putting movies out and stuff like that, and they're doing well in the box office. And
I don't know. Maybe I'll put them on Groms. Maybe.
Nah.
No,
Honestly, I would say 600s.
Yeah, 600.
Yeah, 600, whatever.
Mind you, listen, those guys are 40 years old. They ain't trying to get hurt and crash, man. They heal slow now. You got.
Right.
I'm not saying here. Not everyone is going to sign up, but I'm pretty sure there's some people that would.
But who would sign up to race at 40 years older and plus? Who race? You got like 5 guys out there? Nah, it ain't gonna be fun to look at.
I think it'll be more than that. I think the Tom Sykes of the world and some of these guys of the world will come out and definitely run. And I think they would look at it different, where it would probably be a lot cleaner because they know it's more for fun and it's more for the show than it is to where they finish.
I know one time I saw a race at the hill climb of something. It was some prestigious little race that they really don't even do too much. It's kind of like a sprint race that they go from like point A to point B, and it's really just on a small dirt road. They have a whole bunch of hay bales at the crash points, stuff like that. And a lot of people do come out for it to see the most luxurious or one-off cars and motorcycles, just to see them sprint from like, it's not even a mile.
Right.
It's not even a mile, but they come out in droves for that. So have something like that, maybe. But like I said, before the full season, that's a hard sell.
It's not. I think. Hang on one second. It's not really a hard. I'll put this example out there. Look what the Baggers doing for Motor America.
But it's not one off.
And before the Baggers started, that was a hard sell.
Let me jump in there.
Go ahead, jump in with the baggers.
Yeah. So I think an old timers night would be great if they're on 300s, right? And then that way now you could sell to everyone that you don't need 1,000 or 600 to learn how to ride a bike. Here's Rossi on a 300, and he's only a couple of seconds off the 1,000. Because when we worked at the motorcycle shop, one of the guys, Jordan, it's funny, Jordan, he used to take the R3s out, and we would take the R6 and our 1000s and ride through the backwoods, and he would be right behind the guys on the 300, right?
600, 1,000.
Yeah, because it's windy. You can't have it open throttle through the woods. So it would be a great learning tool to get people into the sport if it's done on a 300. I think once you start going 300, 600, 750, they're 40 years old.
Yeah. But you know what? And now,
listen, Albert Batista is 40.
I get it, but check it out.
He's a race
Now listen, but here's why I don't want to see it. Look at boxing, man. Look at when Tyson fought, man. I don't want to see
how much money? How much money did that make, and how many people watched that?
I don't care about the money, man. As a
Not
fan
even about the money. Okay, if we're gonna go into boxing, that's gonna be another different story. If you look at the whole fight, Tyson pulled his punches. Yeah. You're not going to have these guys out here pulling. Going to be pulling their punches.
Rules. It's not because Tyson was old. It was rules. He couldn't. There's certain shots he couldn't take.
Right.
And that's different. If they let him fight the way he wanted to, he would have been over. It would have been over. I mean, and if you look at Roy Jones, when Roy Jones fought Tyson, same thing. He's like, man, I'm not poking the bear. He's like, I'm just sitting here trying to survive these rounds.
Right.
so you know, that's what I'm saying. So, and you look at what LeBron James is doing at 40. You know, you look at what a lot of people are doing at 40 plus right now. It's not the same. LeBron. Like it's not 88.
Oh, hold on a second. I will correct you on LeBron because there is no face of the NBA. So we have to keep on rolling out this guy in a wheelchair. Trust me, if there was a new face in racing, if there was a new face in the NBA, LeBron would be out of here. But there's nobody. I mean, there's so many new faces, right? You just said it. You just said you want to see Top Rack in MotoGP. That's Rossi's spot, right? Now we're
There's a lot of other spots before Rossi, but I'll give you that.
Yeah, I mean, we want to see new, fresh blood, and like I said, 300 old timers day and the Sunday after the race, we all get back, crack some beers, and if the fans could actually go on the track, right?
Well, not while the race is going on, but
it's just cruising. It's got to be some type of
like Tyler Van TT.
Yeah, like I mean, Rossi, you're gonna say to Rossi, hey, like you're gonna tell the guy to pull punches. Hey, Rossi, you know what? 30 miles an hour, so people could see you zipping around and cruise. We're just going for a cruise race. Get the fans on the track. Bring the dynamics closer, and it's more like a family day. You could have the barbecue going as you see in Rossi do 20 miles an hour on the 300. I think that would be cool to introduce people to the sport, and it's also another selling point. It's like going watching Ice Cube's league.
That's what I'm saying.
Big three.
That's what I'm saying. The big three.
That's
what I'm saying.
Hey, Iverson, take it easy. We're not going to blow it in the ACS. Smitty says no. I'm trying to work Smitty. He ain't budget.
If you watch the big three, I've watched a couple of the games, or I watched at least the highlights. Dude, in the big three, almost a fight goes on every game. Those guys guys are, whether they're out of shape or think you're out of shape or whatever like that, pro basketball players, they ball hard, and they play like they're playing for the NBA championship every single game. Besides the trash talking and stuff, they're going, pardon my French, balls out every shot, every rebound, everything. And it's kind of like, dude, it's just a big three. I don't know if they're being like $1 million purse, something like that, but there's always they're close to fighting every single game. So I mean, if we have something like that, I wouldn't want them to be on 300s. I would want them to be competitive and
Yeah,
actually,
yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree.
rub elbows like the old
Yeah.
days
Oof.
and be
And
able to really show their skills.
Now you're
yeah, I was
talking
gonna say
interest.
and I was gonna say they would be doing that because you're gonna play like, look, I'm still I'm racing, and I'm above 40. We're all above 40. Smitty, you're still racing. You're not taking it easy. You're not thinking about injuries. It's not an injury thing. You put it, whoever wants to sign up, sign up. Whoever doesn't want to, they don't. I mean, it's motorcycle racing. We know what it is when the lights go out.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Let them battle it out. Like I said, I think it's going to be a hard sell. Like I said, I would watch it because I would want to see Casey Stoner go
Oh yeah,
against,
for
somebody
sure.
else.
Yeah.
Like I said, because I kind of came up in that era in the early 2000s, late 90s, when Valentino, before he switched over
Yeah.
and
Colin
all that stuff.
Edwards,
Yeah,
John
Colin
Hopkins,
Edwards. Yeah, yeah.
Spees,
I would
all
love to
these
see. Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
you know
would
what
love.
I'm saying?
For me, I would love to see it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, R6, R7s, R9s, whatever. Doesn't it
I,
it it it, it,
I
it, it, it from a learning experience, it'll be pretty cool to watch. If you're a rider and to see these guys out there and to give you and give it, because I mean, when you talk about MotoGP, they're prototype bikes. So, I know people say, people can't do things that they don't see other people that look like them are doing. I don't really buy that. But like to see somebody go around the track fast, I don't care what they look like. If they're going to try to track fast, I'm trying to figure out how they did it so I can try to mimic it.
so
emulate. Yeah.
you don't think that them on 300s would be more entertaining?
No,
That's
no,
all
no,
skill set at that point.
no. It's because like if you watch these little kids on these bikes, no, I think you at least got to get up to 150,
It'd be
160 on
like
the bike.
the
I
Red
think.
Bulls Cup, man.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
Yeah. You
I
at
mean,
least need an R6, well, R9 or whatever, middleweight. It doesn't need to be 1,000. I don't believe it needs to
Right.
be 1,000. And not only that, they're not going to dominate the weekend, right? So it's more just kind of like in between, whatever. But I think it would bring a lot of old heads. Just the same way New Edition is selling out places now, right? It's the same thing. I think they would bring people to the racetrack that may not go because they may not be looking at the young people,
I
older
don't
heads
know.
like us.
I think it should be more of a novelty.
Okay.
I think more of a novelty, make it more fun, more fan interactive, where like Rossi could, in turn 4, he could put the bike on a kickstand and run over and sign some autographs and then jump back on the bike. Like that type of interaction. And
We don't want all them globetrotters, man.
Right,
Stop
this
it.
ain't 1970s, man.
I mean,
This ain't like the Barry Sheen days, right?
it's selling tickets, and that would get me involved if I could be a part. Like I know nothing about racing, but if there was a old timers day where I could get on the track and meet the guys going around, then I was saying, let me try this. Maybe I want to get involved in this. It's got to be like a family affair autograph session to sell, because those guys got to sell the sport. Because we had 50,000 people over the weekend at Phillips Island. We could have 100,000. How do we get to 100,000? How do we get to 100 million watching it like the Super Bowl? Go ahead, Jordan.
I gotta follow up on that. I don't want everybody's opinion on this also. So Rex, you started this. It's all your fault.
Right.
We had talking about the old timers.
Yeah.
And it just came to my head that Motor America also has not just the old timers, they have the build, train, race program. So
Right.
what about if we have either the old timers or whatever case may be, jump on older
Senior. Let's
bikes,
just say senior league. Sounds better.
old folks. We put them on older bikes, vintage bikes, and they go at it. So I mean,
Jixer
they're
750s.
750s, maybe 900s. I mean, worst case scenario, 900, 900.
Right.
But I mean, but definitely something that will pique everybody's interest. Something that doesn't even have to be a spec motorcycle, just something of that era, and definitely build, train, race type of build with them with the infield. I think that would definitely catch a lot of eyeballs on there because now
Okay,
you
fair
have
enough.
professional racers on
Right.
not so professional bikes,
Right.
but they're going 110, 120, 130. And like I said, you're still getting that nostalgic feel, as well as, who knows, like I said, parade lap, Valentino kicks off the kickstand, and besides him going to the loo, he goes off and signs a couple autographs.
Right.
Valentino's not showing up. He's racing cars. But I hear you.
And what I would say, you brought up a point about the baggers race. The baggers race is not old man class at all. You have like Rocco
I'm not
Lanners
saying
in
old
that
man.
race.
I'm just saying as a racer, racing. People didn't
Mhm.
think racing Harleys and Indians,
Was capable, was
would
possible.
and they,
True.
from what I've heard,
Whoa.
they've brought in the most crowd last year to go
Okay.
watch the races. So I'm talking about more from bringing the crowd in perspective.
Yeah, but
Okay, got it.
Hang on one second,
Harley
Shay.
Davidson. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Smitty.
No, I said, I got you. Your point. Understand.
But historically, the Harley Davidson racing was huge in America at one point. I mean, there was the black lady. That's where the term hog comes from, Harley Davidson racing, right? You call it a
Racing
hog.
was huge in America at one time in general,
Yeah,
but yes.
with the Harley Davidsons. And there was a black woman, which was pretty crazy. They used to always keep her helmet on, and they taped her breast down.
Mm-hmm.
And she would win first place, and everybody be all like, we want to talk to you. And nobody knew that she was a woman racing a Harley. So and also too, if you follow the bike culture, a lot of the guys started.
Just made that shit up, man.
No, I'm not.
No. He's
I heard
on
that for
point.
my life, man.
He's on point. He's on point with that.
No,
Yeah, look it up. I mean,
I gotta look it up.
and also too, if you look at the Harley guys, it just makes sense that there's a bagger class because kids just started wheeling baggers. Like that's the new thing now. They wheelie baggers. Like all the young kids are wheeling baggers and they're building custom baggers. So it just makes sense. It makes more sense. And this you guys may kill me on this.
Oh, definitely.
It
On our way up
makes
to Boston right now.
it makes more sense for there to be racing baggers than for them to be racing Ducatis and Suzuki's in America.
All right,
Because,
yeah, I gotta turn your mic off.
Cut his mic off.
Historically,
Cut his mic off.
Hey,
listen, Bobby Kennedy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Historically, in America, the Harley Davidson Indians, they've been racing since 1901. 1901. When was Ducati found? Not 1901.
I think it was 1903.
Yeah. Okay. So Harley Davidson has 2 years of racing over any European or Italian motorcycle.
They were making bicycles, so.
Yeah, but they weren't baggers though, man. All right, look.
No. What I'm saying it makes sense why you would see baggers racing because that's what the young kids are doing now. It just makes sense. They're wheeling baggers. They're building custom baggers. It makes more sense for me to see baggers in Motor America than for me to see something from Japan.
Well, I disagree with that. It's like seeing a whole bunch of Zion Williams in the NBA, overweight and playing basketball. Right. I don't agree with that on the baggers. I do agree.
American. That's American. This is not Europe.
I do appreciate what they're doing for the culture and the sport, and I don't think anyone saw it coming because when they were practicing at club races and we were talking amongst ourselves and stuff like that, nobody ever said like, yo, this thing's going to be dominating Motor America in 2024. No one said that.
You guys didn't say it, but it makes sense.
Hey, Bobby Shakes, question. You're in the UK, so right now, but what time is it for you guys over there?
I'm in America.
He's in Philly.
Okay. I thought you was, because like you're tired. That's why you sound crazy right now. Get some rest, man. That's what I thought, man.
Listen.
Like it's 3 a.m., go to sleep.
This is the homework. I want you guys to go and look at the history of Harley Davidson racing in this country with Indian. And
I believe you though, but it don't matter no more.
If I remember who he's talking about, the black lady is Betty something. Her name is Betty something, but I think I know who he's talking about.
Yeah, and she used to walk around, with a pig, a small pig. That's where the term hog comes from, Harley Davidson. And here's another thing: that sport was dominated by black people. This MotoGP stuff, I'm looking around, I don't see black people in the crowd.
Well,
Bobby
that's another
Shakes.
conversation.
We have to start somewhere. So
We have to
Yeah.
my
start
goal
somewhere.
my goal is to see a Jamaican win a championship. So
Hey man, if
They
they can
did
do
in
the
Cool Runnings, right?
bobsled,
They did-
if they can
They
do a
got
bobsled,
they
let,
bobsledded, but they
Right.
got they didn't win, but they
Oh.
bobsledded to a
well let's just say we still bobsledding and we're doing fairly well. So
and they have a good hockey team. Jamaica's hockey team is pretty good. I think Jamaican
we
hockey team won the championship or something.
we don't mess around what we do. But I agree with you, Bobby Shakes, as far as the history and racing and stuff like that, and bringing that awareness. Let's wrap up and let's talk about who's going to win this weekend in Thailand. Let's go to Jordan. Who your top three?
Are we talking MotoGP? Are we talking Superbike?
There's no Superbike this weekend coming up, man.
Who's going to win? I give you my three. You're gonna get mad at me.
I won't get mad. I'll get mad at opinions.
Quartararo,
Okay.
Basecki.
Okay.
I'm gonna my third one is kind of a toss up, but I'm actually kind of Marquez Bagnaia, and I'm leaning a little bit towards Bagnaia, but I think Marquez, may cheat somewhere and you know put some additives in his fuel tank and not sugar.
Okay. Smitty, what are your thoughts?
You know my pick. I'm going
Marquez,
Marquez.
Marquez, Marquez.
No, I will say I'm going Marquez number one, obviously. Pecco may get second.
Mm-hmm.
Fabio third.
Okay.
And number four, my guy, Acosta, the
Morbidelli.
shark of whatever the place is
Okay.
called, man. Barcelona, the shark of something. Yeah. I like Pedro a lot, man.
Shock of Spain.
There you go, man.
Bobby Shakes, what are you saying? There's no
You know what it is.
Ducati. There's no.
You know what it is. We've been fighting about this before we even started this show. Your boy can't stay on the bike, and my boy's gonna win. Marc Marquez. That's it. You know this. We've been fighting about this now for a year now. 45. You know it. You know it.
It's
This
cool
is
that
our
you said
year.
Marquez, man.
I think we were doing it before when Rossi was still racing.
And that's when I was going. What's my guy's name?
Oh, Dovizioso.
So there you go, baby.
Still have his helmet. I need to get it signed.
That's what's
Can
up.
I have?
Once I get it signed, then I'll sell it.
All right, guys. Tell people how they can find you on social and how you want to be found.
Who goes first?
You, man.
You.
Okay. You find me at Joel and Long Unlimited at Spreaker.com. Follow me on the podcast where you can find any podcast on your favorite channel. I don't have a Facebook page anymore because I got hacked, but please make sure you like me on Twitter, MR_long23, and on Instagram at JL Unlimited Racing. Holla at your boy.
Love it.
You know Smitty, Smith Shot Racing. That's how to find me. It's that simple, man. It ain't too complex.
Love it.
Bobby Shakes at Bobby Shakes on everything.
Period.
And because none of you out there ever going to make it to MotoGP, it's okay to buy some Snickers from Milk. We got exotic snacks. We got the best chips. We've got soda, not made with hydrocorn syrup, real cane sugar, MiltonCookies.com, promo code Bobby Shakes. It's okay. You don't have to be on the grid this weekend. Go buy yourself an exotic Snickers from Brazil.
There
I
you
can still
go.
be a
And
mechanic. I ain't gotta be on a bike. I can still be a mechanic.
Right. You could eat Snickers and wrench.
no doubt. No doubt.
That's
Go
my guy.
to Freedom Cycles, New Hampshire or NH, mention B4evaKool, get a discount. Go to Workbench Tech, mention B4evaKool, get a discount. I want to thank everyone for coming on. My name is Rex45. It's the B4evaKool Race and Motorcycle Podcast. Peace.
Peace. Love you guys.
All right, question now. What's the name?